doing, everybody? I'm back with a badass video, and we got a good, bad, ugly. Is that what we're talking about?
Yep.
Good, bad, ugly Ranger boats. Ranger, still building them, not one at a time. That's what we got for you. We've got the good, bad, ugly Ranger. How did this video make it? What, people wanting this, or did you you and Bob come up with this together?
No, people did.
People, yeah, that's what I thought. You always revert it back to the people because you know I'm not gonna get mad. I get it, I understand. All right, anyway, this is a good video. This is a really good video because we haven't done a good, bad, ugly in a while. It's been a long time. People will be able to get to see what's going on with the good, bad, and ugly. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna run it. We're just gonna roll with this shit, and we're gonna get to the point right away. Let's go right to the good. Can we start with the good? Let's go with the good. All right, the good, here's how this stuff lays out. Ranger is the iconic label in bass boats. Ranger, the iconic label in bass boats, in my opinion. That was the boat that everybody wanted to sit in. The early days, even the beginning, all the way till Forrest didn't have his hands in it no more. That was the iconic bass boat. That was the good, probably the best. I don't know if it could get any better for Ranger. Every time they were trying to evolve into something better, and they always did become better. Anything that Forrest had his hand on, I think he had an insight with. There's a lot of people that were involved with that whole system. It just wasn't Forrest, but his legendary feel, his legendary ideas, his continued wanting it to do it for the fishermen, and the success of the boat itself was definitely the good part of that. And that starts from the beginning. Them Comanche series boats, them R series boats, them early Z boats. I think some of those boats were just, it is crazy. It was crazy. I mean, you go to the 361s. Those boats were river boats. They weren't the greatest riding boats probably, but they were constructed and built like nothing. They had a great appeal. They had a great look to them. The bench seat, the big bench with I have a bench seat right over there. I still have like one of the originals, the molded one with the check or the diamond stitching in it. They went the extra mile on the stitching. They did. We put a recess in like a 84 or an 83 this last week here, and we cut the chunk of wood out, in the wood and the fiberglass, and it was in pristine condition, like nothing wrong with it, and it was as hard as a piece of concrete. It was crazy how it was built, and you could see it was hand laid. You could see that every individual part of that boat, and I was showing Zach that too, just on how that boat was built and constructed compared to what we cut into today. I mean, pre-drilling, that type of stuff, cutting, it was this thick. The deck was literally that thick. Those boats were just built like tanks. Those were the early I give a shit feel from Ranger. They cared. They literally did. When Forrest said, when he came up with the legendary still building them one at a time, that shit was real. You know what I mean? That was the real stuff. That was what they were doing. And then I would say we evolved into kind of what we have today. Are we going to call this the bad portion of it? I mean, we can. I mean, we can, really, we can. We can have because it's not the same boat. It's definitely not the same construction. It's not the same quality. It's not the same boat. It's literally not the same boat as what it used to be. And some people may argue that. They may argue it got better. The only thing that got better was maybe some of the technology, but the construction didn't get better. The boat itself didn't get better. Jordan could splash emails all over this thing about people complaining about their Rangers of today. And I think I don't know why it stems from that. People want me to say it's Johnny. It's not Johnny. He's just there. He just gets the bad rap. It's just a name we throw out there. He doesn't lay his name to the side of the boat. It's still just a Ranger. I think it's literally engineers trying to go to the cutting edge and not utilizing the simplicity that works. Does that make sense, Jordan?
Yeah.
They took the simplicity out of the boats and tried to make them, I don't know, a fucking Lamborghini. You know, it's not going to happen. We're still fishermen. Everybody is still a fisherman. Everybody is, or fisherwoman, fisher person. You're still getting in that thing to go catch fish, hit switches, turn live wells on, keep them alive, get back to the weigh-in, take your fish out, and obviously weigh your fish. So speed, safety, luxury ride is all part of that. I get that, but the stuff that was built prior seemed to last longer than what it does today, and that's unacceptable. So that's why I'm labeling that as the bad, because I feel that it could be way better. And it's a brand that, like I said, is iconic. It's like the brand in the bass boat industry, in the bass fishing industry. I mean, Ranger solidifies that, cowboy hat solidifies that. It was like the brand, it was the deal. The ugly, Jordan asked me this and said, what would be the ugly? And I'm going to say it. I think it's going to be the future. I think it's the future of what's coming. I'm scared to see what's happening. I'm scared to see what's coming. I think they're trying to over-evolve what they're doing. And I think I don't know that the people that are trying to engineer the boat are the right people for that job, for that boat. Like, that boat, that name should have the highest qualified people in the industry designing that boat. Am I wrong by saying that? If it is the most iconic, probably symbol to the bass fishing era. But when you piloted your company with Nitro, right, it's hard to put Nitro below a Ranger. You don't want to really do that. Probably you want to say this is our best boat, but I think that's a competitive nature of what's going on. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of, we don't want Ranger to be here. We want Nitro to be right around here with them, because we want them to, you know, bounce back and forth. And I think that's where we're maybe not putting our heart and soul into that brand. And that's why I say the future is, I think, dim for that brand and other brands that are alongside that tag, that White River tag. I don't know how many guys are even running a Ranger on tour anymore. Dude, I don't know that for a fact. I think Brent is still in one. I think Brent's still running one. And I think Skeet Reese is running one. Maybe.
Comment below.
Yeah, definitely comment on that. Comment on who's running Rangers out there on tour. And comment if you have a new Ranger, for sure. If you like it, if you love it. Comment if you have an old Ranger. Comment if you had an old one, you got a new one, and that'd be a perfect kind of people to comment. You know what I mean? I had the 96 and now I've got the 24, and I can tell you the differences. You know what I mean? Because there's a bunch of those guys that are still heavily committed to that brand and that name. So I think at the end of the day, that's kind of going to be a helpful thing for this video also. It's not just my personal opinion on this, it's more of a preference to what people are doing. And I think when, you know, Phoenix came around, obviously Bass Cat's been around forever, but I think some of those people jumped ship, and when they jumped ship, they jumped Skeeter, Bass Cat, Phoenix, and that was just part of what they were doing. But you know, there's a lot of boats that have gone to the wayside because of that brand, and they battled, they tried to be part of it, and it just didn't work. And then you end up with just people losing jobs and boat companies just going south. And ultimately they tried to compete with that, but now I don't think they're competing with Ranger anymore. I really don't. I don't think Ranger's like the top of the peak anymore. I feel that they're probably mid to lower. And I think if you look back on some of my top 10s, that was a higher boat, was it not? Did I not put them up higher on some of that? And that probably today they may not make the top 10. And that's just that's a sad issue, you know.
We should do an update on your top 10.
We could do that. I'd do an update on a top 10 for sure. There's a lot of boats out there. There's some boats that I've never seen that are intriguing to me. We got a big hit on one the other day, and they're not even made in this country. That's kind of what's weird. These people that are doing these boats out of the country are really doing really nice jobs on some of these boats now. But we're gonna have some of that stuff to come to for sure. So I think that's my good, bad, ugly. It was kind of quick, I guess. The good was obviously the Forest days, the early days, right through the 80s, the 90s, great boats. Early 2000s, great boats. And I think the bad is what kind of where we're at right now. And I'm only saying that because the company has dipped, I think, in quality. The early ones that rolled over from the Forest days were still good boats, and then the takeover, and then how it just kind of trickled, and it's just kind of spiraling now. I think it's just spiraling to the point of where the boat, I think, looks still good from a distance, but the nitro looks good too when they're sitting like that, you know, and then I can get up close and find some flaws. But I think you can find flaws in every boat, but it's a matter of fact of how many you're going to find, you know. They are made by hand, so, and they start off as a jug, right? Jug of liquid, so there is going to be some stuff, but if people that are building them take their time and enjoy what they're doing and appreciate the end all result, I think the boats could be perfect. I think they should be perfect for the money that we're charging for these fucking things nowadays. So, and like I said, then the ugly, I think the ugly just is what's to come. I'm worried to see what's going to happen, what's going to come. They're going to roll something off the showroom floor that's probably going to be really much the same boat. They're going to say they did a little hull change, probably tweaked a little bit of this, tried to get some more NASCAR fucking seat. Just get a goddamn bass boat seat in the boat and let's go boating. You know what I'm saying? Make the switches work, make the pumps run, make the fucking boat usable. And I think that's why I'm so intrigued with some of these boats out of the country, because the hull is very well built, made very well built, still hand laid, still taking their time, and they're literally simplifying the boat to make it higher quality. I mean, that's easy. People are like, how do you simplify something to make it higher quality? Because it works every time you get in it, and everything seems to always function. You're not wondering, is my keypad gonna work? Is my fucking fling screen gonna work? Is my anything gonna fail? Can I just get in it, power, boom? Oh, nav light's good. Yeah, everything's working good. I can go boating. You know, I think that's where I'm at with that whole thing. That's why I'm intrigued by some of these countries that are making different boats. I'm gonna bring you that video too. I'm gonna bring you a video on some of these boats that are not made in this country, and I think you're gonna really be impressed with some of these people that are building these boats. And that's why I know you guys are this, that, and the other about ballistic, but that's why I'm so in with Jim and what he does and how he does it, and the independent builders and how they do it. I still think that same quality is being put into like a Bass Cat, you know, and that type of branding. But there's certain brands that they're just not. You know, Legend had that feel for me. I loved Legend boats. I loved the way they looked. I loved their appreciation for the boat when it was finished. You know, and that's the type of companies I want to survive, because we need them. But back to Ranger, that's what you get for your good, bad, ugly. That's what you got. Jordan, anything?
You want to tell your Forest story?
My Forest Wood story?
Yeah.
About all the Rangers at the first All-American that ever came here, when none of the Chargers worked?
Yep.
Yeah. So we were, it was a long time ago now, guys. I am young in this industry. And the All-American was here, and I think it was 100 boats or whatever the hell it was. And we literally got a phone call the night that they dropped off all the boats. And you don't expect to get the phone call, right? You don't expect to get a phone call, but we get the phone call, and literally it's like a mad rush of their boats aren't working. And we at the time were a Dual Pro Charger dealer. We would sell Dual Pro Chargers, and none of those Chargers were working. So we ended up getting a phone call from the man himself, and we ended up getting down there, and we had Dual Pro on the phone, and we literally stayed all night long getting those Rangers to be ready for the next day. Is that story going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and that was just one of those deals where I think that's what's different nowadays. You know, he made a phone call to a tiny shop to ask for help because essentially of our background with Dual Pro Chargers at the time. And that was like my first experience in like a big show. Like, holy shit, we got to get all these working. We're gonna be here till whenever, and that was what it was. It was a 2-man show. We ended up getting some help from those guys down there. They were willing to help, and we were able to reset all those things and get them going. So it was just a crazy deal. Yeah, but I don't think you get that today. They wouldn't call Team Marine to help us. Can you help me? They would call somebody else. So it's more politics and bullshit than it is quality and control. But yeah, that's what I got. I have another. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I got a huge shout out. So from our last video about the River Run, and I got a couple things to say about that. I personally did not know there was that many vets that watched what we do. Jordan, agree?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the amount of vets that watch what we do. I literally read some of those out loud to my family of some of those people talking about this, that, and the other. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing feeling on you guys, you veterans, taking time out of your day to comment on what we do. And just like, I mean, there's one guy got blown up. He's in a wheelchair. And he said that he would literally get to the banks of the Mississippi and hold Old Glory high. That guy needs to be in a boat at the top of the pool and going for a boat ride. That's the kind of respect that the companies need to understand, that what you're dealing with. If you are a company and you are sitting there right now, just go read the comments after that video, and you go count the amount of vets that watch what we do, and you go count the amount of vets that gave basically their life for us to be doing what you're doing, for you to be making your money and doing what you're doing. But a huge shout out, veterans, I want you to know this, to Bass Boat Saver and the conglomerate group itself. Immediately sent us an email after. Now, I don't sell Bass Boat Saver. I do not sell the product. I will be selling the product, but the fact of the matter is they sent us an email, and they sent us an email stating they will be in for money, product, and any kind of help that they can do. That is huge. That is freaking huge. Bass Boat Saver, your conglomerate group, you guys are awesome people, because we have no connection. Like, I don't sell your stuff. You sent me a bottle of stuff. We used to sell your stuff a long time ago. I did a quick little thing, and you didn't pay me for that. You didn't do nothing, but you did send me some Rolos, which was awesome. You guys literally just stepped up. So we have one company that has literally stepped up. Two, actually. There was another bait company that said, it's kind of a smaller bait company. I think he's in his group basement or garage building stuff, but he said he would donate a bunch of lures and tackle for the vets, which was huge also. But there is a ton more companies out there that we're calling out for you guys to just continue. I mean, there's people that commented on Skeeter. There's people that commented. The only way they're going to see this is if you guys keep hashtagging them, keep putting them out there, and keep doing it, because we want to do this. So we have two, one monetary, he's monetary product, and they are in support, like literally support. I think they would send people to help do what we needed to do at the end or at the beginning or halfway. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. So this is just a point to you guys that are watching, you companies that are watching, even if we're not affiliated. I am not affiliated with them at all, but they stepped up to the plate for the veterans to do this. That is what this is about. It's not about an affiliation. It's not about that. It's about literally helping veterans and making and raising money for veterans. That's what we want to do. So huge shout out to Bass Boat Saver for immediately sending us an email. The rest of you companies that are sitting there in limbo, I wouldn't want to be a company that probably doesn't sponsor this at the end of the day. It's not for me. I'm doing it because I literally want to raise a bunch of money for veterans. That's literally the way I want to do it. I could sit here and just blab about you just sending us money, but why wouldn't we make it a humongous national thing when we can get to raising tons of money? So Bass Boat Saver, you guys are a class act. Your company's a class act. You are definitely high on the list of companies that are just giving towards veterans. We appreciate you, and we will definitely be contacting you. Yeah, that's all I got. Jordan?
We have more to come for the run.
We do?
More information, media kit stuff. A lot more to come on that.
We do?
Yep.
Like on your end?
Yeah.
Stuff I don't know about?
Not yet.
Cool. This is great. Happy day.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's perfect. Yeah, that's what we got. That's it. Our Good, Bad, Ugly is over. Ranger, they're right here. Look at that. That's back in the forest days right there. Pink hat. Lots of good stuff going on behind me. But yeah, for sure. Good, Bad, Ugly Ranger. Comment on it. Make sure you're commenting. Give us, like you said, if you had an old one, you got a new one, there's problems. Maybe you like the new one, hated the old one. We definitely want to hear about it. Comment, talk about it. Talk about what you think of Ranger today. Talk about what you think of Ranger back then. We want you to engage, because that's how people and you, the community, can get together and do this stuff. If you're down at ICAST, send us a video. See what you got, right? We want to see some new stuff too. We didn't make it. Send us a video. See what's going on. Lowrance just released a trolling motor. New one. Awesome. Should be great. Maybe we'll have some videos on that stuff. And there's obviously a bunch more new stuff. But always, I hope you guys are all doing great. We appreciate the support. I cannot thank you enough. Get over to the merch, pick up some merch. Definitely got some cool stuff over there. New stuff always going to be dropping on there. Make sure you're checking that stuff out. But at the end of the day, we're just happy to be up here breathing and talking and doing what we love to do. And that's all I got. So I hope you're all going to soon scream speed, money, no brakes. Because that's what we do here, right? We get it going. We ain't got nothing to slow us down. And it ain't nothing but a money pit. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, that's what we do. Right. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and click notification bell to witness some madness that I hope everybody is going to scream speed, money, no brakes. Why? Because I'm out. See you.